Tiene que estudiar para sacar buena nota. Hay que estudiar para sacar buena nota. What is the difference between these two sentences? That is what we are going to be discussing in today's video. Hey, hola a todos, it's Rocky here from SpeakSpanishFaster.com, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about the differences between tener que and hay que. When should you use the verb tener que or the phrase tener que? When should you use the phrase hay que? This is a subject that confuses many students, and in reality, it's really not that hard to get down pat once you understand the basic principles and rules behind when you should use either or. So that's why I'm filming this video for you today, so that you never make a mistake with either of these again. All right, so first off, let's start with the verb tener que, or the phrase tener que. I'm just going to call it a verb because the actual verb tener is different than tener que. Now, tener, we all know, means to have something, usually talking about possession. So if I say, yo tengo un carro, I have a car, that's possession of something. But whenever we add que after the verb tener, it means to have two. So it's no longer talking about possession, but now it's talking about obligation, having to, let's say, yo tengo que hacer algo. I have to do something. Okay, yo tengo que hacer, to do, the verb in the infinitive form, hacer, algo, something. Now notice I conjugated the verb tener based on the subject being used, which was yo, I, and then I had que after tener, and then I had the verb in the infinitive. That is how you use the verb tener que when we use it. You always have to have a subject, and this is very, very important because this is what separates, or this is what is the difference, the main difference between using tener que versus hay que. So we have our subject here. In this instance, it's yo, and then we conjugate the verb tener based on that subject. So let me give you another example. Tú tienes que sacar a tu perro. You have to take out your dog. So notice we conjugated the verb tener to tiene, tienes. I just say tiene because I always cut the S's when I talk, but we conjugate the verb to tienes. Tú tienes que, so tú tienes que, tener que, tienes que, sacar, take out, again, sacar in the infinitive form, the verb in the infinitive form, a tu perro, take out your dog. So the main thing to realize here, well, two main things. The verb tener que, when we use it, we have to have a subject so that we can conjugate the verb tener based on that subject. And we always use the infinitive form of a verb after que. So tener que is, we conjugate the verb tener, we always follow it by que, and then we have a verb in its infinitive form after que. So this always demonstrates obligation for a person. It's like a chore. They have to, and then do something. They have to eat. They have to dance. They have to go to school. They have to do this. They have to do that. We always use the verb tener que here when we have a subject. So let's look at another example. Ella tiene que limpiar su cuarto. She has to clean her room. We have a clear subject, ella, she. We conjugate the verb tener, tiene, third person singular here. Ella tiene que, of course, because we're using tener que here. Limpiar, the verb limpiar in the infinitive form, to clean, su cuarto. She has to clean her room. Clear subject, having to do something, having to clean her room. Obligation. Now, let's look at the phrase hay que. When do we use hay que? Because sometimes we see hay que saying someone has to do something. Now, we use the verb hay que here to say, what hay que means is one must. So if we say one must do something, then we say hay que hacer algo. Now, you usually won't see it being used like that, but that's just a general example to show the difference. The main difference between tener que and hay que is tener que has a subject. Hay que, there's no subject. It's usually speaking in general terms. So, for example, hay que tener cuidado con el fuego. one must be careful with fire. So the phrase here is hay que. Hay que is never conjugated differently. It's just hay que. There's no other conjugation for it. It's hay que. Very similar to the first phrase we saw. It's followed immediately. Que is followed immediately with an infinitive form of a verb, or the is followed by an infinitive. Okay, so hay que tener here, to have. Hay que tener cuidado con el fuego. So when we say tener cuidado, that really means be careful. So the verb really here is tener cuidado. Hay que tener cuidado. So one should be careful with fire. One must be careful with fire. It is necessary to be careful with fire. Again, we're speaking in general terms here. Let's think about another example that we can use. Okay. Hay que cocinar antes de la fiesta. So one should cook before the party, or it is necessary to cook before the party. This is just it's a general statement, but there's nobody taking responsibility for making this action happen. There's no subject. So we could take the same sentence structure and everything and simply change out hay for a conjugated form of tener, and it changes the complete meaning of the sentence. So tiene que cocinar antes de la fiesta. So él tiene que cocinar antes de la fiesta. He has to cook before the party. So notice the difference there. Hay que cocinar antes de la fiesta. Él tiene que cocinar antes de la fiesta. Or if I could cut out él and I could just say tiene que cocinar antes de la fiesta. But tiene here represents that there is a subject that has to do this. Hay que is just a general, it's necessary, it should be done type of thing. So going back to the sentence that I used to start this video off with, what was that sentence anyway? Oh, yeah. So it was, hay que estudiar para sacar buena nota. So one must study to get good grades. It's necessary to study to get good grades. Versus, tiene que estudiar para sacar buena nota. So he or she or usted has to study to get good grades. So notice that's the difference right there. All right, that's the main difference. Now you should never struggle with this again. If you know the subject and you know that subject has to do something or has to, if the subject is there, you use the verb tener. If there's no subject and it's just a general statement, you simply use hay que. Just know, anytime you want to say you have to do something, he has to do something, she has to do something, we have to do something, they have to do something, you're going to use the verb tener que. You're going to conjugate tener based on the subject, que, and then add the infinitive verb that has to be done. Now, if you're just talking in general, it's necessary or one must, one has to do something, then you're going to use the phrase hay que. So again, very simple. Once you master these rules, you will never make a mistake. But at least now when you hear hay que, you're going to know why they used hay que instead of tener que. So I definitely recommend that you be on the lookout now for every time you hear either or, and really think about why the verb or phrase tener que was used rather than hay que. Or if you hear hay que, why was hay que used instead of tener que here? When you start analyzing this, it's going to help you really learn the rules and really learn kind of the structures of sentences in Spanish and help you learn when to use which one. If you found this video helpful and you're looking to take your Spanish speaking ability and comprehension ability to the next level, then definitely be sure to check out our free training on our website at speakspanishfaster.com. I'll put a link in the comments for you and also in our description of this video for you so that you can go click that link and get the training, learn my 3 biggest secrets to help you learn to speak Spanish and comprehend Spanish better, faster. If you enjoyed the video, do me a big favor, hit the thumbs up for me, comment below, let me know if you have any questions, anything you need help with, any subjects, you know I got you. That's why I created this channel. Last but not least, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel, Speak Spanish Faster, by clicking that little subscribe button right under the video, the red one, yes, that one. Turn on notifications, that little bell after you subscribe, turn on notifications so you never miss another video, and until next time, nos vemos.